Yo, what's up?
Baby, let's go!
Welcome to our website. We've got loads of news and gossip for you today. But first, here's a new song.
Yo, this is Shelly Swichelle and the fire again. Yo, this is Shelly Swichelle and the fire again. We got to nice up the world.
Read more a la música. Baila el ritmo.
Shelly.
Do you feel the rhythm just taking over? Do you know music ignites a happy feeling? Do you want to mueve tu cuerpo? Come, let's go. Move your body to the beat of the rhythm. Move your body, just move your body. Ritmo a la música. Move your body, just move your body. Baila, baila el ritmo. Come on, everybody, we're feeling fine. Come on, everybody, let's move in time. Groove to the rhythm when you hear the beat. Groove to the rhythm, let's move your feet.
Come again. Venga todo el mundo que te pa' gozar. Con Dulce y Shelly vamos a bailar. Un paso para adelante y otro para atrás. Con la kimbala, esto va a explotar. Venga todo el mundo que te pa' gozar. Con Dulce y Shelly vamos a bailar. Un paso para adelante y otro para atrás. Con la kimbala, que la king, mamá.
Do you feel,
Buena señorita.
feel the rhythm on your feet now? Do you know music unites the world together? Do you want to mueve tu cuerpo? Come, let's go. Move your body to the beat of the rhythm.
Ven señorita, ven mamacita.
Ritmo a la música.
Ven mamacita, ven mamacita.
Baila, baila el ritmo.
Tú sabes que
Let's move your body, move it.
los cueros ahí me condenan.
Fire, move your body, groove it.
Bendón,
Move your body, move
ven
it.
señorita, ven mamacita.
Fire, shake your hips to the music.
Bendón,
Jamming together, feeling the fever. Hips just a moving. One love forever. Baila el rhythm. Jamming together. One love together. Jamming together. Come on, everybody, we're feeling fine. Come on, everybody, let's move in time. Groove to the rhythm when you hear the beat. Groove to the rhythm, let's move your feet.
Actívate mamita que la vaina sienta buena. 1, 2, 3, suelta la cadera en Panamá, Trinidad y hasta Venezuela. Cuando te ven bailando y sálvese quien pueda, señorita. La pista está candela. Los cueros, ahí me condenan. Ven señorita, ven mamacita. Bendón. Venga todo el mundo que te pa' gozar. Con Dulce y Shelly vamos a bailar. Un paso para adelante y otro para atrás. Con la kimbala, esto va a explotar.
Come on, everybody. Come on, everybody. All fire. Let's move your body, move it.
Los cueros, ahí me condenan.
Fire. Move your body, groove it.
Bendón.
Move your body, move
Ven
it.
señorita, ven mamacita.
Fire. Shake your hips to the music. Jamming together. Feeling the fever. Hips just a moving. One love forever. Baila el rhythm. Jamming together. One love together. Jamming together. Baila
Yo,
el rhythm.
this is Shelly Swichelle and Dulce again. And Dulce again.
Sweet shirts.
It's lunchtime and the Brooklyn Cafe is open for business. Live from the Amp Media Studios, Dawn and Freddie S. and their team are ready to serve up a huge portion of fun for lunch with friends and neighbors. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought and take a front row seat in the Brooklyn Cafe and get ready to enjoy some humor and hot topics. It's time to get a healthy serving of hope and happiness to help your day go by with a smile. Your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S., are ready to talk about food, health, dating, or just plain dream making. If you have a story to share, movie review, restaurant critique, or just a coincidental thing that happened to you, call in toll free 888-994-4995, Studio A right now. Sit back and enjoy your lunch break at the Brooklyn Cafe. Here are your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S.
welcome to the Brooklyn Cafe on a beautiful, what is it,
Tuesday.
Tuesday afternoon, all day?
Talk to me Tuesday.
Didn't we do a morning show this
Look what I
morning?
got. I'm assuming
What,
this
you
would
broke
be a
a horn?
wand. No, I think Lady Ashley left it for me in a wrap. So as
That's
long as
kinda
but I
dangerous.
almost sat on it. But I
That's a
didn't.
horn.
It's a horn. It's like a mini wand or a coffee stir. I don't know. Creative minds want to know.
My goodness gracious.
Anyway, our set is brought to you by Lady Ashley Party Planning. We are getting ready for a little bit of love for Valentine's Day, so you may as well start spreading the love early. Today is, look at that, National Kite Flying Day, February 8th. When was the last time you flew a kite?
When I was 14,
Wow.
it was in Puerto Rico on a mountain.
Did it get stuck?
No, it went so high, I think it hit a plane because we sort of tied stuff up and then it popped and we never saw it again.
Gosh, when was the last time I even saw anyone flying kites? I guess it was the last time kids went outside to play.
When was the last time you went outside to see kids play?
Exactly. Actually, my new neighborhood, there are kids playing all the time, riding bikes and big wheels and stuff everywhere. So it's a nice change of pace.
So the gang has decided that we are going to bring in 15 tricycles. And we are going to have races.
Ooh, ah.
Slick is not included because he wasn't here yesterday. He was sickly. But Cole has decided he's going to
Cole's
bring
going
in.
to be on a tricycle.
Yes,
Cole
all
is
6'4", yes.
Okay.
And we're going to have tricycle races outside.
Okay.
And we're going to have teams,
Okay.
like a team building thing.
Remember the last time we did bike riding?
Yes,
It didn't work out
I
so well
cracked
for you.
my elbow, yes.
Yeah.
I hurt a lot.
Yeah.
So that's how
We had these electric bikes. We had a Pedigo sponsor with the electric bikes. They probably have them in Fort Lauderdale. And he was so worried that I was going to fall off. He's doing, he zooms it up because the guys, guys on whatever competition, guys think they can do their thing.
She was lapping me.
I was
You know how
laughing.
embarrassing that is? She's lapping me because I didn't know how to work the stupid thing.
And he zooms it up and right over the hedge on his elbow.
So she says, hit the button. So I hit the button. It went from 0 to 90. So here I am. It's either me, Federal Highway, or the concrete. So I took the
You
concrete.
and the concrete.
And I walked in. No, tricycle.
tricycle.
Oh, no, I'm holding the flag. I ain't crazy.
I don't know what to tell you. We got a full Tuesday lined up for you, which is really a nice surprise.
We do, yes.
We've got Michael Macchia joining us, our Bitcoin master, as always. Mike had a show with us last year that blew up when Bitcoin was blowing up. He got so busy that he went on hiatus because he got so busy. And he brought his friend Neil Jacobs joining us, who has a Bitcoin podcast. And then we've got the ladies joining us on the back of the theater. We're talking about healthcare, DME, and Angel Show, Touched by an Angel Live, targeting the senior community. So a lot of great things happening.
A lot of good stuff happening. We're going to start with the Bitcoin.
We're going to start with the guys because the guys I know Neil's got to get out of here, and the ladies are a little more comfortable. We're getting them comfortable in the zone. No need to be nervous. See, we're good to go. So let's check in with Mike and Neil. Mike, we haven't seen you, as they say, in a minute. You've got a lot going on.
Yeah, thanks for having us back. It's always a pleasure to come on here. I love talking Bitcoin with you guys. Listen, let's introduce Neil and then let's fire it up.
Yeah, so my name is Neil Jacobs. I have a podcast called Inside Bitcoin. You can watch it on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. I also run Cafe Bitcoin rooms on this social media app called Clubhouse every 6:30 a.m. every weekday. I'm also on the board of directors of the SAT Center, which is a Bitcoin advocacy group that advocates for Bitcoin at state and local levels, tries to convince local governments to do favorable things towards Bitcoin. And I also work for the Bitcoin conference. That's going to be in Miami, April 6th to the 9th. So if any of you want to go, you should check that out.
Open to the public?
Wasn't there just a
yeah.
conference here?
Yeah, but that's not like this is the big conference,
Okay.
the Bitcoin conference. And if you do want to go, I got a special promo code for you guys, FOMO, F-O-M-O, all caps. You get 10% off if you want, off your
Really?
tickets.
April
yeah.
8th and 9th, you said?
April 6th to the 9th
6th and 9th.
on South Beach, yeah. And
Now-
there's also going to be a music festival with some other artists, Dead Mouse, Steve Aoki,
Dead Mouse?
Logic, yeah.
Nice.
Slick, you want to go?
And if you don't want to buy the conference ticket, you could buy a ticket just to the music festival, which is Saturday, April 9th, I believe.
Interesting.
There
You
you
know
go,
who's
Slick.
coming in on Friday?
Oh.
Paula.
Yeah.
Paula's coming first?
She comes in once a month to deal with Bitcoin in Miami. I don't know what she's doing, but it seems to be a Bitcoin week.
Well, everybody's into the Bitcoin. I wanted to touch into that. Don't they have a stadium now in San Francisco named after Bitcoin?
Oh, I think you're talking about the new sponsorship with the FTX Arena.
It's
Is that
called
it?
Was that the Miami Heat,
Bitcoin.com.
right? Wasn't it that
Wait.
arena?
Oh
The
yeah.
FTX. I thought an exchange. I don't know about.
There's an
I think
arena.
Miami, there's an exchange. Isn't the Miami?
Oh,
What
the
is
Staples
it?
Center?
Staple.
Is it
Oh,
crypto.com?
Crypto.com did that
Crypto.com.
one. Yeah.
And also, my friend from the Rams that went from Cleveland to the Browns, the best receiver, is being paid in crypto. He's not being paid in cash.
Odell Beckham, right?
Odell Beckham.
Yeah.
This is pay me
A
in.
bunch of NFL players are being paid in Bitcoin, not just
Yes,
him.
yes, that's the new wave. And then Miami has seemed to become the hub for Bitcoin. Is that correct?
So a lot of California used to be the Bitcoin hub in New York, but due to all the pandemic and the lockdowns, a lot of people moved down to places like Texas and Florida where it's a little more free to move around and kind of goes more with the Bitcoin libertarian spirit. So Miami has embraced that. You have the mayor, Francis Suarez, who has been welcoming Bitcoiners to Miami.
So you think Bitcoiners have a libertarian spirit?
Not all. I wouldn't call myself a libertarian, but the initial Bitcoiners, a lot of them were libertarians because it's about separating money from state. So it's natural that it would bring people with a libertarian bent, at least first. But Bitcoin's really for everyone. Progressives, liberals, conservatives, it's about preserving your wealth over time. And that's why we see NFL players opting into getting paid in Bitcoin because they have short careers. So it makes sense that they want to find something that they could preserve their wealth over time. And Bitcoin has shown that over the last 13 years.
Do you see the future of Bitcoin following the last 13 years, or is it going to change completely? Because it's now more popular. People are trying to understand it, actually, and they're getting into the game more or less. But do you see it rising the way it did? I remember when we met you. My goodness gracious, this guy walked in here and everybody from New York was
Exploded. Yep.
texting me and writing me, where is he?
Yeah, those first few shows, I kind of came in from the 20K pump to 50, so everyone was going nuts. I think so. Neil will touch on it more as well, but it's still a new and growing market. It's still developing. I mean, different apps, tech companies, hedge funds, institutions, countries. Like, we're still in the beginning phases of this adoption and all these, just again, different apps and services, products, investment vehicles that are being built on top of Bitcoin. So I still think we're in the baby phases of all this. If Neil wants to talk more.
Yeah, I think we're like maybe in the second inning. If
Yeah.
we're talking baseball terms, right? 9-inning game. We're still at the very beginning, right? 13 years, Bitcoin's been going, and it's still less than $1 trillion asset, which seems big when we say $1 trillion, but $1 trillion here, $1 trillion there these days isn't a big deal. The stock market is hundreds of trillions of dollars. The real estate market is hundreds of trillions of dollars. So something that's less than $1 trillion is still in its infancy. We say Bitcoin just had its bar mitzvah because it just went through its 13 years. It's just becoming a man. And I say that's even probably overshooting it. Bitcoin is trying to become the global money because it could transcend between borders. Nothing else could do that like Bitcoin. Around the world, people have tried to get dollars, but it's hard for people in a lot of countries to obtain dollars without paying like outrageous fees, and Bitcoin fixes that.
How did you get involved with Bitcoin?
So my journey starts off, back in 2013, a friend of mine said, hey, I'm using this magic internet money to buy drugs. I'm like, oh, this is interesting. I didn't use it to buy drugs, but I wanted to experiment with it. The price of Bitcoin was $120 per Bitcoin. Now it's at, 44,000, something like that. I did not hold on that whole time, or hodl, as we say in the Bitcoin community.
That was the name of his show.
Yes, which stands for Hold On for Dear Life, for anybody that doesn't know. I did not hodl, obviously a mistake. Got back in like 2016 and 2017. Was kind of fooled by a lot of the other shiny objects that are in the quote-unquote crypto space, which are just gimmicks that try to steal Bitcoin's thunder. For me, Bitcoin really is the one and only crypto asset it is the one and only money in the crypto space, and everything else is just a way to take your money and take your Bitcoin away from you.
But this became your full-time job, it sounds like.
It's not completely full time. So I still I'm a CPA by trade, so I still do work there. But I also have all these other things. I don't sleep, basically.
Well, you crunch numbers.
And wait, it's tax season.
but,
Yeah.
let me ask
But I
a
had to make
question.
time for you guys. So.
Let me ask a question.
Just don't tell my boss.
I look at him today. If I buy today, I have a better chance of making money than when I saw him the first time, that it was at 62,000.
Okay.
All right. So the question is this: there's a lot of people that still understand the stock market goes up, you sell, you wait till it comes down, dividend splits, blah blah blah,
Yeah.
and you buy, you go up, and you're riding this coaster. In Bitcoin, it is what it is when it is, right? So if I bought at 62 and I sell today, am I losing money?
So what I would say is we can't look at it on such a short-term time horizon.
Okay.
Anyone that's bought and hold Bitcoin for at least a 4-year period has never lost value in terms of the dollar value of their Bitcoin. It's my understanding that Bitcoin will become the premier money, maybe the one and only money one day. It's hard for people to wrap their head around that, but if you talk to people about the internet 30 years ago, there's that funny old clip of like Brian Gumbel on Good Morning America saying like, what's the @ sign, like in an email, like what's email? That's kind of where we are with Bitcoin right now. So I wouldn't get too hung up on, is it 60, is it 40? If it's gonna be the one and only money, like the difference between 60,000 and 40,000 is gonna be a rounding error. Like this is an asset that could be worth like millions and millions of dollars per Bitcoin. And I don't say that like hyperbolically, I believe that.
Do you really think it can go unregulated?
Yes.
So it already is regulated. The SEC has classified it as a commodity. The IRS has classified it as property. So there is some regulation around Bitcoin already. There's always been this big fear, even among some Bitcoiners, that governments were going to try to ban it, attack it. I would always counter, you can't ban something that's decentralized. It's ran among hundreds of thousands of nodes worldwide. But even in the US, we're seeing politicians come out in support of Bitcoin. Senator Cynthia Lummis, who is a US Senator out of Wyoming, has been a hodler since 2013. She's been holding Bitcoin. Ted Cruz just announced that he owns Bitcoin. There's other congressmen that own Bitcoin. So I don't see them banning it.
Well,
No, not if they're
people
investing.
tell me if you have spendable income, that Bitcoin is a safety to do. But if you're relying on your business, like I know somebody who they take 10% of their sales and they put it in to some kind of investment vehicle that has to pay annually something else. Is Bitcoin that kind of reliability? Can you do that with Bitcoin?
Like I said, Bitcoin is not something to like flip in the short term. You got to hold it over a long period of time.
Okay.
And when I buy Bitcoin, I actually look at it as I'm selling my dollars. Like I don't want that dirty fiat money. Fiat meaning government like issued money. I want the more superior form of money. For thousands of years, that was gold. But then gold is not that portable. It's not that divisible. It's not as finite in supply as Bitcoin. So Bitcoin fixes all the problems with gold. So why wouldn't I choose like the best form of money in Bitcoin instead of holding on to dollars? Now, I wouldn't say for most people they should be 100% in Bitcoin. That's a really personal decision. I'm one of the like crazy people.
Let's hear you.
That's close to that.
Are you guys 100% in Bitcoin?
So I'm not 100%, but maybe like 90%.
Mike?
I'm about 70 or 80% of my entire net
Which is a
worth.
lot,
But
right?
how do you
It's a
pay-
lot,
but
yeah.
how do you pay your bills?
Well, that's
at
why I said
90%?
90%. And any new like cash flows that I have come in, I use that for my spending. I don't like take that to buy Bitcoin. It would also be impractical because of the tax implications.
Right.
Every time you go in and out of Bitcoin, you have to report either capital gain or loss. So I don't want to buy Bitcoin to then sell it 2 weeks later to have to pay my rent.
So
I
now
keep a
you do
certain
have
amount-
to report that because you say, right,
Yes.
that is now regulated, that it is funds, that gains, losses, capital gains,
Yes,
all of
it's
that is
considered
now.
property. It's similar to a stock. When you buy and sell a stock, you have to report a gain or loss. you have to do that with Bitcoin as well. It's not exactly the same. There's actually some rules that are more favorable to Bitcoin than stocks when it comes to recognition of certain like gains and losses.
You know, I find it interesting. You're a CPA. You're in the insurance business. Totally conventional jobs.
Right.
You guys aren't out there in the music industry. You're not out there being creatives and artists, right? Left brain, right brain. Here you are in money management, but yet Bitcoin are your major holdings for investments.
Yeah, you know, they say it with Bitcoin, once you see it, you can't unsee it. No one, and I think this is a Michael Saylor quote for anyone who's not familiar with Michael Saylor. He owns a company, MicroStrategy. They've bought about 125,000 Bitcoin, which is billions of dollars worth of Bitcoin. And he says anyone that puts in 100 hours of studying Bitcoin never has an unfavorable view of it. They always have a favorable view. It just takes a lot of time because it combines areas of expertise in so many different things: economics, history of money, game theory, cryptography, coding, behavioral psychology. There's all these different things, and who among us are experts in all of these things? So it takes a lot of time.
And Mike, you told me something about coding because someone came in last week and said to me, sell everything except these two. I don't think they're funds. I guess, what are they called? Two cryptos. Two sparkly squirrels. Sell everything except these two companies. And I'm like, okay. So of course I to ask you. And you told me something about the coding of Bitcoin. Now, and you mentioned coding.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
No, well, yeah. What we were texting about, and we've talked about this in the past a lot of times when I've come on the show. We've talked about Bitcoin's finite supply. And just to kind of backtrack slightly, a lot of new people in the market, and it really depends on what you're doing in Bitcoin. If you're a person like me and Neil, and you're in it for the long haul, because you think that it's going to be the supreme form of money in 10 and 20 years, then that's how we think of it. If you're in the market because you want to trade and buy low, sell high, and do the in and out and try to get rich quick, yeah, a lot of people are in the market for that. Yeah. Those type of people, those are all the texts I get from my friends that are new when the market takes a huge dump like it just did. It's a very volatile market. It's scary. It's emotional, And so a great example is like, yeah, you texted me, it was a scary dump. And what I replied to you and what I say to everybody, we can't forget, like, the fundamentals of Bitcoin haven't changed. There's a supply of 21 million coins. 19 million coins have already been purchased. Every 4 years, the Bitcoin blockchain is coded to get half the reward of mining, which basically every 4 years it's programmed to get more scarce. I don't want to get too much into like talking Greek, right? But in a nutshell, Bitcoin is programmed to get more scarce over time. It's just like simple supply and demand. Right. There's going to be a less supply over time. We know that. There's a guaranteed finite amount of 21 million. We know that. So all these fundamentals haven't changed. And the value proposition of it hasn't changed. That it's the only decentralized form of currency. It's the only decentralized payment network in the entire world. Over PayPal, Venmo, there's no bank that can shut it off. There's no government that can shut it off. There's no company. There's no computer. Perfect example is what just happened with the trucking convoy in Canada. Mm-hmm. GoFundMe shut the whole thing down. At first they were just going to confiscate the funds. Then now they're refunding it. That's a very good thing. At least they're refunding it. But the point of that is that a government put pressure on a company, right, to do a certain thing, right, which was halt the whole thing, almost confiscate it, right? Now Bitcoiners came out and they started their own GoFundMe. It's on a different website. It's called Tally.io. It goes to a Bitcoin wallet. They've raised over 10 Bitcoin already. It's over $400,000. Now that can't be seized by the government. That can't be touched. Nothing can interfere with that because Bitcoin is truly decentralized. So we're seeing firsthand.
So what are they going to do with that?
It's good. It's a fundraiser for the truckers.
Oh, it's one of the truckers.
A lot of them are out of work, right? They're
so it's going to go to the truckers.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, they're protesting against vaccine mandates in Canada that they're not allowed to leave Canada and come to the U.S. unless they're vaccinated, and a lot of people believe that should be up to the individual to decide whether they're going to be vaccinated or not. So they're getting support of a lot of Bitcoiners who I said are more libertarian in their views, clearly, and they're donating to these truckers.
$7.8 million.
It's interesting. Remember the
Yeah.
GameStop thing from last year? We talked about it. And when they say one person can't make a difference and the little people don't make a difference, you
It's a
clearly
different
see
time
they
now.
can, right?
We live in. I mean, it's the power of the internet and social media. You can't mess with it.
You can't
Yeah.
hide.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny that you say 21,000 Bitcoins and 19 have been sold.
Million.
21 million. Yeah.
I mean, 21 million. And 19 million has been purchased.
Yeah.
So that leaves 2 million in the free world.
Correct.
Well, there's 19 million in circulation.
Right.
So it doesn't mean that there's only 2 million available. Like I own, a little bit of Bitcoin. I could sell it to you. So it's not like it's unavailable.
Right.
It's
Right, but-
new Bitcoin, new supply
New
that's going to be come
supply.
onto the
Well,
Yeah.
I want to touch on that because if the deal is there's no more new, like they stop and you have to wait 4 years before, that's going to drive the price up again.
Yeah, so as Mike was saying, there is this supply halving that happens every 4 years on average. It actually goes by amount of blocks on the blockchain, but let's just say every 4 years. The supply of new Bitcoin that comes onto the market is cut in half. So right now, anytime a Bitcoin miner, mines a block, they get 6.25 Bitcoin. 4 years from the last halving, which will be May of like 2024, the miner will be rewarded with 3.125 Bitcoin, and then that halves and halves, and eventually it gets infinitesimally smaller to zero. But we know once that ends, it'll be 21 million, actually like 20.999999, because it never actually gets to 21 million if you just keep halving.
That's
Would that
why
happen
in the
that's
next
why
4
he's a
years?
CPA, all
Sorry?
these numbers.
Would that happen in the next 4 years?
Every 4 years it halves. By the year 2140 approximately,
Yeah, they
so
estimate
we'll
about
all be
2140.
gone by then. But by 2140, that's when the full supply will be out on the market. Now, that doesn't really matter much because 99% of the market of the Bitcoin supply is going to be in circulation within like the next 15 years. That's how the supply schedule works out. It's front loaded to get most of the supply out earlier.
Who
anyways.
determines that?
So this was written by a pseudonymous, anonymous founder, Satoshi Nakamoto. He or she or a group of people created Bitcoin. They published a white paper in October of 2008 and said, hey, I have this new idea for this peer-to-peer electronic cash system, and it's called Bitcoin. And then in January of 2009, she, or they, published it and said, go for it. You could start using this and mining Bitcoin, and anyone could set up a computer. Back then, when it first came out, Bitcoin, you could have ran your computer from your home and mined Bitcoin and got like 50 Bitcoin a day. But no one knew it wasn't worth anything. And it was more of an experiment. And that's what makes Bitcoin so much more powerful than all these other cryptocurrency projects, is that it had this sort of immaculate conception where there's the founder disappeared, or the founders disappeared, and there wasn't any anticipation of gain. Now when you have these new cryptocurrencies, there's a lot of politicking going on. The founders give themselves a lot of the share of the cryptocurrency right off the bat. So it's inherently an unfair system. It's actually the new cryptocurrencies that came after Bitcoin are more like the corrupt fiat currencies, dollars, all the other paper currencies we have in the world today. So I don't even compare crypto.
But what's the
other
difference
between
the others
The other
and
end.
crypto?
And
between
Bitcoin.
Bitcoin and crypto? Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. So like I said, Bitcoin was kind of founded in this public way where it didn't have any value. So anyone that came to it was coming to it in like inquisitive and altruistic way, like how do we separate state from money? Now the coins, a lot of them, they're not even mined the same kind of proof of work that Bitcoin has. Like you have to put in computing power to mine Bitcoin. A lot of these other coins are just handed out to the people who created them.
Now, people who mine Bitcoin, I know someone who essentially said he was mining, he had a mine, came in, wasn't even you, got into some trouble with the government as far as his mining situation, and they shut it down, they seized his assets. He was working overseas in Venezuela. I mean, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Is that legit?
So is Bitcoin mining legit or getting shut down legit?
Both.
Both.
So Bitcoin mining, as far as the laws of the U.S. government, or the Constitution go, should be completely legal. You're just running computer software. There's nothing illegal about doing that. You will see in certain more authoritarian countries around the world that they will try to shut down mining. We saw this happen in China about a year ago. I think it was last
We
May.
talked about that, I think, one episode.
Oh, yeah?
The China mining.
Yeah, and
So I
that's
think
when
he
the
was running it from like Venezuela or something.
Yeah,
but
and
here
Venezuela has a very.
Yeah.
It's not pleasant to live in Venezuela right now.
Well, no, he
mine
lives
in my
here, but I
office.
think he
got
was-
machines hooked up in my
Okay,
office.
what do you mine?
sheltering. You're
Well,
mining.
What do we mine? I want to know what.
Bitcoin.
I'm adding what's called hash power. Again, I don't want to get too
Complicated.
Chinese or Greek
But
hieroglyphic.
you're saying mining. I want to know what that looks
I'm
like.
adding hash power to the network. Essentially, just in a nutshell, it's like I'm helping to power and secure the network. I'm also processing transactions worldwide, and I'm getting a little fee from that.
Every time you do a transaction,
So
you get a little bit.
as it's
Sort of. But so there's miners all around the world doing this, and only one miner who solves this mathematical equation is actually rewarded with the Bitcoin, because like you need to run mining equipment using electrical computer. That's like basically playing the lottery. Like, am I going
Yeah.
to be the one out of thousands and thousands
my
of miners?
network. My network is hooked up with a mining pool called.
So you
Ant
pull
Pool.
together with other people.
Don't send the canary into the mine.
And listen, and this is what makes Bitcoin fully decentralized, is that you have all these people all over the world, and I mean you could do it individually. You can connect to pools, and that's there's no intermediary. Maybe one government shuts it down like China, but then you have South America. You have
the game theory start
Yeah,
to come into
you have-
effect. Like look at El
you have
Salvador.
all these other places.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt.
No, go on.
No, El Salvador just adopted Bitcoin as legal tender back in June. I think it was officially started in September.
We saw that.
And now we're hearing about a lot of other countries, a lot of rumors, especially in the more underdeveloped countries,
Sure.
that want to opt into Bitcoin because they have currencies that are crap, for
They-
lack
they
of a better
stink.
term.
Yeah,
They stink.
they're being
They-
inflated.
they
They're
we
all
saw
experiencing inflation.
in I think it was in it was Lebanon where they devalued their own currency by like 90% overnight. Who wants their wealth stored in paper like that?
Italy too. I mean, it's worth nothing. Bitcoin is worth more.
We talked about inflation a lot on previous shows.
Yeah.
Like, look at what's happening right now. Look at grocery prices. It's very clear and obvious.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
my rent went up 30%.
Someone else just told me
Groceries
their
went
rent
up
was going up
30%.
30%.
Yeah.
Well, mine did. I'm already paying 30% as of a couple months ago.
I mean, think about it. You assumingly can't afford. You have.
Well,
there are people that can't afford to live anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, if your wages don't outpace those kind of things, even if you're making the same salary, you're actually losing money.
You know,
right?
when you guys
have
are
to pay
young,
more
so
for it.
imagine the generation or 5 years, 10 years younger than you that
Yeah.
are trying to make it.
Yeah, buy Bitcoin.
So that's
Okay,
my
but
question
hold
too.
on.
You
How
have
do
to
they
buy
do
Use- okay,
some
hold on,
type
hold
of
on.
asset that's going to perform greater than inflation, basically.
Yeah, but how's that going to help you finding a place to live?
Well, it makes you
Well,
afford
I mean, that's
a place
separate.
to live.
But you need money to find a place to live.
But I got no money to pay the rent, so I'm going to put it into Bitcoin. I mean,
Well,
you
no,
got to think
no,
about what's going on.
people
here.
have to survive. Like you have your essentials
Like
first.
you have your day jobs.
Yeah,
course,
but
yeah.
if you have a little bit of extra savings, this isn't financial advice. I put it into Bitcoin
Rather than to put it in the bank.
rather than to put it
Same.
into bank earning 1 penny a year. You see what interest? You don't make interest in
You,
banks
you
anymore.
pay to put your
Yeah.
stuff in the bank.
You know
Right.
what? There actually are some countries that charge negative rates where you actually have to pay them to hold your money.
You got to pay $5 to get a debit card. It's the most ridiculous thing. I said to the lady, "Hey, lady, you got my money in there. Why am I paying you?"
Yeah.
She says, "It's going to be $10 now." I says, "Okay, I can't win."
She's
Well, the
insane.
trick is, it's when you put your money in the bank, like, and this is going into the weeds, it's actually not your money anymore.
It's
The bank owes you money. They have like account payable to you, but it goes as an asset on the bank's like balance sheet.
Oh
A
my
balance sheet.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Mike, you're still recommending some of your apps for people to get into Bitcoin?
Yeah, I mean, some of the most user-friendly apps, if you're new, and I know a lot of it can be confusing. So I always just suggest Gemini, Cash App, Strike. Gemini, Cash App, Strike. Those are great. They're very user-friendly for new people.
Yeah, I like to recommend Bitcoin only ones. no offense to like Gemini or Coinbase or Kraken, they have all these other cryptocurrencies, and I feel like it distracts people. The ones I would recommend, which Mike mentioned a few of them, Cash App, Strike, River, there's River Financial, Swan Bitcoin, like the bird, Swan Bitcoin. I always try to push people towards Bitcoin only because I've seen what happens. People get crushed in these other cryptocurrencies. It really is gambling. And you'll hear the stories about this one, person who made $1 million out of their apartment trading Dogecoin. But it's the same thing as going to a casino. Like, the casino wants somebody to win. They might want two people to win. So everyone else comes in, and they know the house always wins. And that's what happens with these other cryptocurrencies that are more centrally controlled by a few group of players.
And what is the best way for people to contact any of you if should they have questions or want to get involved? I know you go down under, but huddle on over there. But maybe you tell us.
No, I mean, anybody can shoot me a DM on Twitter. I'm at Mikey_Mock. Comes up as Hodl Be Thy Name. Neil?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter. You could DM me at Neil, Neil Jacobs, Jacobs. There's a lot of people that make accounts impersonating me. So be very careful. I think right now I might have like 28,000 followers. So it's that account.
Wow.
Like there's impersonator accounts that have 50,000 followers. So don't just think because they have more followers. Yeah, it's the Wild West out there, and people get scammed out of money because they'll impersonate
that's the
other.
other problem.
Yeah.
You don't really know enough about it. You do your research, and then you get these guys that come along and sort of ruin it for everybody because they're a bunch of scammers. And right now, it's at a highest I've ever seen. The scammers. I can't believe what's going on.
I get a phone call every day.
I get 10.
Hello, Coinbase customer.
Yeah.
Right,
I
and
get the
it's
emails.
totally automated, and I think.
You're never getting a call from Coinbase. Their customer support's terrible anyway, so don't expect.
And you're never getting a call
anyone
from
to get a call
DoorDash
from-
either.
You don't
Their
even get a phone
customer
call from the IRS. I got a guy in the IRS.
It's that
Oh,
time
you
of
owe
year,
me
the
money.
IRS
Get out of
one.
here.
Yeah, I can't believe you're here at Right in Tax Season, so thank you so much
Well,
for
it's
joining
lunchtime.
us.
I gotta eat. I mean, I'm not gonna eat now, but
You have your own firm? You want to plug it, or?
no, we don't have to. do
Okay, we're
that,
going to
but-
skip that. We're going right to the Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Mike, thank you as always.
Yeah, my
Amazing
pleasure.
information. We don't even get to touch the surface. In
I know, we
45
never
minutes.
there's never enough time.
Never enough
Maybe
time.
next time.
Yeah.
Of course. More
Absolutely.
to come. If people want to follow your podcast, how do they find
It's
you?
Inside Bitcoin. It's on YouTube. Please subscribe. It's on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all the major podcasting platforms. So definitely subscribe there. And also, like I said, at Neil Jacobs on Twitter and on Clubhouse, if you know that social media app. I run rooms every day at 6:30 a.m. teaching people and educating them on Bitcoin.
Awesome.
That's amazing. It's refreshing to see somebody at least explain it so
Yep.
that even I can understand it.
Gio, I'm sure, is texting you.
He is. I'm not even looking.
All right, we're going to take a commercial break, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having
When
me.
we come back, we're going to head over to the ladies on the other side of the theater and see what's going on in DME, healthcare, and Angel's new show. So stay tuned. You can always give us a call at 888-994-4995, Studio A. Stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
Welcome to Movies of Del Rey, a family-run movie theater that has been serving the Del Rey and Boca community for over 30 years. Open Wednesday through Sunday, Movies of Del Rey offers great admission prices, low concession prices, and quality customer service. Movies of Del Rey provides the quality of the big box theaters without the price tag. Movies of Del Rey provides new Hollywood content as well as new indie and independent movies. It truly is a hidden gem. Whether you're hosting a private event, party, or fundraiser, or are looking for your next date night activity, Movies of Del Rey is the perfect choice. Come on down to Movies of Del Rey, located at 7421 West Atlantic Ave in Delray Beach, or visit us online at moviesofdelray.com.
Once a professional musician, artist Steven Zwern uses his creativity through multimedia artistic expression. His compositions use acrylic paint to create 3D masterpieces. Stephen's fascination with brilliant colors and intriguing patterns with jewels and rhinestones entices the eye with color and dimension. For more information on the artwork of Stephen Zwirn, contact Stephen at 914-656-9060 or StephenZwirn, ZWIRN.com.
2020 has been a year like no other. 2020 The Game is an exhilarating board game where players struggle to collect 270 electoral votes and win the White House. All while navigating through the challenges of a global pandemic, an international toilet paper shortage, the invasion of murder hornets, state of emergency lockdowns, and civil unrest, just to name a few. Roll the dice and see what fate awaits you. Purchase yours today. Available at 2020-thegame.com, Palm Beach outlets, Amazon, and Walmart.com.
Coffee News is a fun, family-friendly weekly publication provided free to restaurants, coffee shops, and waiting areas for customers to enjoy. Grow your business today through the power of effective, affordable advertising. Coffee News is an active marketing medium specializing in the ongoing weekly promotion of your business. This builds awareness for your company so you become known as the leader of your industry and develop brand awareness so people think of you first when they want your services or products. Maximize your visibility and achieve outstanding results. For more information on Coffee News, contact Sunrise Coffee News at mail.com or give them a call at 954-951-7870.
Hi friends, join Kids and Capes with Bree
and Allie as we find out about kids we know giving back and making a difference all around us.
Friendship, bullying, and all things kids really want to talk about. Even topics you might be a little scared to share with your parents.
We will keep you up to date with the news kids really want to know.
And we will always give tips on how to make our world a little bit brighter.
Now on with the show.
Always remember, peace,
love, and kindness.
Watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
You know, it's really funny. In New York City in 1976, we had the Great Blackout. And I just saw it again.
It's like we missed you yesterday.
In the Heights.
That
was part of it. Well, I gotta tell you, that was
interesting, right?
It is, because we haven't seen them in such a long time that we have a quadrillion questions. If you're invested in that market, you have even more questions. If you're thinking about it, I was gonna ask him, being 60 as opposed to being 20-something, does Bitcoin make a difference? Because it does, right? Because if you're 60, you're going to be waiting around for 20 years.
You maybe want more of a conservative investment. That's why
you ain't got the time to be conservative anything.
Diversify.
Diversify nothing. He only believes in Bitcoin.
Well, yeah, but even Maki is only 70% Bitcoin. You got another 20% something else.
Yeah, he uses to pay his bills.
He's like 30-something.
Well, now I'm going to bring my attention to the next subject matter, because the next
More of your
subject
age
matter,
demographic?
not only my age demographic, but I can turn it around more profitable in a shorter period of time
Yes.
on things that are needed in our community. That's the way I
100%.
look at it. Bitcoin is something you buy it. It's like a savings bond. You remember the saving bond? Of course not, because
And
they're
they take
millennials.
forever to mature.
It takes 20 years.
More.
No.
I think. I don't know.
20
They take
years.
forever.
But you used to buy the saving bonds in the 50s, and they gave you $2,000. And you thought $2,000 in the 50s was a lot of money.
I know.
What about IRAs? You remember IRAs? Oh, you got to get an IRA because you got to put away $2,000.
Well, now they've even changed the Roth IRA and investments. Everything is changing.
That's right. So my concept here is, if you find a company that you can, in the short term, make a couple of dollars here and there, to me, that's my demographic investment. Not that there's anything wrong with Bitcoin.
Nope. Diversify a little bit of everything in moderation, right?
No, I give it to the grandkids. Here, here's a Bitcoin. Buy yourself a Bitcoin.
There you go. So we've got Lisa, Dana, and Angel joining us. We've got Medcare Supplies Company, Lisa Vickery with us, Sunshine Senior Solutions, Dana Pessoa, and of course, Touched by an Angel, and Miss Zumba over there, Angel Kinsey's joining us. So we're going to see how this camera angle looks.
Let's look 3, please.
Ah, not too bad.
That works.
Pretty good. Good? A little bit? No, we got to get Angel.
We got to get Angel more in the picture.
We got to get Angel closer. Maybe she can just move her chair closer.
Angel, move your chair closer. Oh, look who's out. Oh, my
There
God.
you go. Even better.
Hey, Batman, use 2 also.
For a
Yeah.
second angle.
For a second angle, use 2.
Nice.
Now, this is an interesting fact, and we started meeting. Use camera 2 if you want to. If you want.
We're good.
Yeah? No, okay. We started to have a meeting this morning with the ladies, and there were so many things to touch on that we didn't have enough time. I didn't realize,
And that was an hour.
but I didn't realize how big they are and what they do and how they do it. And then Angel comes in and really complicates everything, because she has the market that they work in, everybody actually that they work in, but Angel has a specific market. So I'm looking at the clock, and my hands are going like this, and not enough time.
Yeah.
So how do you want to do this?
Let's let Angel do the introductions. Angel has an incredible show. It airs every other Monday, probably through this month. Touched by an Angel live with Angel Kinsey. Her next show will be on Monday, Valentine's Day, talking about being solo, celebrating Valentine's Day happily without a significant other. And Angel brings us two lovely ladies interested in sponsoring, because your audience is a captive audience on the senior community, in our community and abroad, because now you are on Zoom teaching Zumba. Yes. So you have your mic. You want to introduce your ladies, your guests?
Yes. So I met Lisa many years ago. She used to come to my live classes. And now that I'm on Zoom because of COVID and involved with the seniors, she contacted me through a friend, and her husband started coming back to my classes. And with that, she realized that her business was a good connection for my seniors and what I'm doing on my show, because my show is specifically for the senior community, their needs, what their successes are, sharing some of their wisdom, just listening to them and hearing them and helping them. So her business is really going to help the senior community. So I'm going to let her say a little bit about what they do, her and Dana. Lisa
Welcome,
and
ladies.
Dana.
Thank you. Thank you for having us. Thank you for inviting us over, Don and Freddie and Angel. It's always a pleasure. Dana and I are business owners in a medical space called DME, or Durable Medical Equipment. And these are also known as medical supplies. They're anything from soup to nuts. Like Freddie said, we started talking about some of the newer products that we offer, and it's just endless. But they're products that patients can use in the home. They tend to be smaller or have a shorter shelf life, that they can be reusable, or they're things that are disposable. Dana comes from a medical nursing background, so she might want to say more about some of the products that we have.
Dana, you are a brick and mortar location in Delray Beach.
Yes, we're right on the corner of Lake Ida and Congress.
So I want people to know that there is a location that you can physically go to or send your aide or loved one to. And then you also have the online component that Lisa's doing in DC area. But right here in Florida, you've got a location where people can come in and actually see what you have.
Yes, that's correct. So we have a plethora of products, starting from diabetic supplies to incontinence supplies, where, in the senior community, that's something Angel mentioned earlier that seniors are nervous to talk about or afraid to talk about. So what we were trying to do is eliminate that fear factor and have seniors feel more comfortable and let them know that they're not alone and that we care.
I have to say that I was really impressed when I came in, because just looking at some of the products that they were talking about, it really impressed me because, with the technology today, it's not like it was years ago when my grandmother needed things from the medical supply. Today, everything is so technology advanced. So some of the products that she was showing for the different health issues is amazing, and it's there to help the senior community. It's things that they need that a lot of those seniors are removed from that information. They don't even know what's available. So I want to be able to have them on the show and talk about some of the innovative products that they have that are there to help the senior community.
And you've got products, as we talked about last week, was Red Dress Awareness Day. That was to bring awareness to women and heart disease. And you've got products for that. I know that's a big target market of yours.
Yes.
And you also have products for mastectomy, which, again, that's not even a senior community. That's just women in general. And people don't realize there's so many things that you can do if you don't go through reconstruction, or if you do, and the lymphedema from your arms, if there's a lymph node involved in it.
Yes.
There's a lot of things other than just wearing the sleeve that
Correct.
you have. So let's talk about some of that as well.
So one particular product is it's called the Plasma Flow, whereas if you're in the medical space, you'll know that this type of device is usually with wires, where you're strictly to the bed. You're strictly in the bed all the time. You can't do any daily products. Whereas the Plasma Flow, it's wireless, so you'll be able to do activities in the home while preventing DVT, deep vein thrombosis, and also creating that flow if you're a lymphedema patient.
And it can probably be legs, arms.
Yes, that's correct. Legs and arms.
Poor circulation, people that have poor circulation as well.
Yes.
Are a good patient for this.
And that's so important because, I had melanoma and I had 85 stitch surgery 10 years ago. Thank God I'm cancer free. I go every 4 months. And I had a melanoma on my leg removed and on my arm, a basal. But right after that, after my surgery, I had gone to Italy on a trip with my family. And my legs were so puffed up that I was in Italy and I couldn't get any help. I didn't know where to go, what to do. So something like that would be amazing. I mean, who would ever think? My legs were so bad at the end of the trip that the last day of the trip I had to lay in bed with ice packs and put my legs up on pillows because I couldn't go out. We had to leave on the plane. And, had I known something like this to help, who would ever think that I would have that problem? But because of the surgery and removing my lymph nodes, taking a skin graft, the lymph nodes, like you say, your legs blow up. Well,
yes.
I had no idea. Nobody educated me. So all of this is going to bring this forth to seniors because they're sitting at home suffering and not knowing what to do.
Yes.
And what about some of your products for cardiac health?
So you want to take that?
Well, you had talked about this is part because I know you were sharing the information with me.
Well, there are products that have to do with blood pressure, personal monitoring, blood pressure monitors, and I did want to just say, most of what we do involves having a prescription. So some of the products we have are cash pay; they can be purchased by anyone, but we are always working in tandem with the patient's physician. So there may be specific products that the doctor would recommend for their patient. And it's our job to sort of be the go-between and to ask maybe more detailed questions about, because when you say cardiac, care,
It covers a big area, yes.
Lisa,
So-
could you just touch on the thing that you talked about on
The
your
CGM.
finger for the diabetic? Because that's very interesting, that they don't have to prick their finger.
Right, right.
What is
So
that?
one of our really, I'd say, important new innovative products is called a continuous glucose monitor. And that's something you may have seen ads on TV. There's several different brands, but we have begun offering it to our diabetic patients. And it's something where there is a very small monitor with a wire that it gets attached. Every 2 weeks, a patient would need to attach it to their arm. And with that, it relays messages. They will have a personal reader, and they can watch throughout the day what their blood sugar levels are. And that's so important as a diabetic or even as a pre-diabetic to know what your sugar levels are. And then you can find ways, you create that awareness, if I am eating this, my blood sugar level is going to spike. But the important thing about this device and why it makes it so valuable, it can also be sent to the doctors. So on a real-time basis, information can be transmitted to the patient's cardiologist or to their endocrinologist, whatever their primary doctor.
That's amazing, because I have a salon client that came in, and she comes in often, and more than one client, that all of a sudden their sugar drops, and they're telling me, Angel, could I have a piece of candy? Could I have some orange juice? And I have one particular woman that's in mind, and she always comes and has a problem like that. This would be fantastic.
Yes.
So not just for my seniors in my class, but for my salon clients that come in.
For so many
A lot of
people.
people have that problem.
And you work with insurance, Medicare, private pay?
At this moment, both of our companies primarily are Medicare, but obviously we know it's not only seniors that have these health
Absolutely.
problems, and it's becoming to affect younger and younger populations. So, the products are available through private insurance, through cash pay. We are adding more and more insurance
Insurances,
companies as we grow, but Medicare is a big part of the insurers that we use.
All right.
Yeah, it's funny because I was talking to Lisa before. Diabetics, if you're not born with it, and it's something to do with how you eat, you have bad habits. And diabetics are the best, including myself, at doing bad habits. And that little machine, which I don't know why my Dr. Hare didn't put me on it 10 years ago.
I didn't have it 10 years ago.
Well, they didn't have it, but okay, well, I think they did Cleveland Clinic. But anyway,
Yeah.
that's not even the point. You can get the machines, but I like the education that Lisa brings with it, because she's going to talk to you about why you should do it, how important it is to do it. It doesn't make you a different type of person. It's going to make you feel better,
Sure.
and it's going to make you eat right. You eat something and doesn't agree with your system. Every system is different. And all of a sudden you see the number pop on you. I got to tell you, I can't hold things on my fingertips no more. After 6 years of putting those needles on here for that blood thing, I don't even look at it no more. I can't do it anymore. But the pressure in the feet, pressure in the legs, these are all indicators. The vision, the whole 9 yards is there. And I got to tell you something. You want to call them to get on this. Get your doctor to hook you up to this thing, because that is the best thing I've ever heard. And I am a diabetic, and I'm not doing carbs anymore because I just found out I can't do that. We used to laugh because Freddie used to sneeze when he had a piece of bread, right? Not doing that anymore.
It's telling you your body can't handle it.
You can't. So you got to be honest with yourself. We're at a stage right now where if you get a cold, you might have COVID. If you have a COVID, you might have a cold. Whoever knows. So you want to be smart as to what you want to do. You want to pick right. And that's why I applaud having done an Angel show, which gives us now another reason, on top of every other reason, to watch your show. But you don't have to be a senior to enjoy what they do.
Absolutely not. And also to be on my show or call in or be a guest or sponsor it, absolutely. I mean, my focus is going to be senior issues, but anyone, we're all going to be a senior one day. So anyone could add into the situation. If they have something to benefit seniors, absolutely, I welcome them.
Good stuff.
So much to do. All right, we're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, more with the ladies, and I think you ladies have a guest in the studio. So give us a call. Any questions or write in on social media, 888-994-4995, Studio A. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Born in Marseille, France, Max Lazega creates whimsical and free-flowing interpretive art. His 40 years in the construction industry created the foundation for his craft. His unique work displays his view of the future with bold and playful combinations of materials and processes, but the methodology remains consistent. He fuses recycled materials and discarded building supplies into a fresh, well-executed approach. Lazega has lived in Miami, Florida most of his life, where he pursues his lifelong passion of creating industrial art. For more information, contact Max Lazega at artworkstudios.org or 786-326-8873.
With enough butter, anything is good. Tori Wells from Precious Treasure Gourmet Foods thinks so, because she single-handedly updated and expanded butter's possibilities. From compound, savory, sweet, and spicy, her freshly made butters aim to please. I don't know about you, but I've never really seen butter this versatile before, and now so feasible. With online shopping, just visit PreciousTreasuresGourmetFoods.com, because at Precious Treasures, Tori is working on the best artisan gourmet foods to every table. Remember, guys, true love is like butter. There's no substitute for the real thing.
Amy Reshevsky can help you choose the right piece that will add some magic to your space. Amy Reshevsky can help you choose the right piece that will add some magic to your space. Amy Reshevsky has a wide range of art, from abstracts to mosaic tapestries, and she paints on different surfaces, such as reverse painting on glass, tables, wall hangings, and sculptures. Her work can be ordered online at amyreshevsky.com, or you can come in and see it in real time at the Brooklyn Cafe Art Gallery. She also does commission work, so if you have an idea in mind, she can make it a reality. She invites you to reach out to her at Facebook or at email at amyreshevsky@gmail.com. That's amyreshevsky@gmail.com. Have an artful day.
Jay Harmon exclusively in the Gallery of Boca. Jay Harmon captures the essence of really creative and captivating mind. Jay Harmon brings light into the darkness on majority of his pieces, using a negative background to highlight the details of some of his looks. I know some artists use white canvases, but he thrives on a black canvas. And here's the kicker: he only uses pencil, colored pencil, graphite pencil, and pencil for his art pieces. Yes, I know it's hard to fathom that these beautiful pieces came from pencil, but yes, they did. And the only way you can experience Jay Harmon is if you come to the Gallery of Boca. Jay Harmon, an unconventional artist with a unique story behind every canvas.
Even though some things are far away, we plan for them ahead of time because they're important. When it comes to your celebration of life, it's really no different. You want to plan ahead now so your family doesn't have to later, and create a service that reflects your values, character, and traditions, no matter what they may be. At Dignity Memorial, we listen to every detail and make sure everyone is remembered.
Amp Media Productions and WNN Money Talk Radio have been in conjoint business for 10 years. They've been working around the clock nonstop to promote over 500 shows and businesses with added platforms such as social media live streaming, podcasts, and the specialty of live radio. To amplify your impact and start your show today, contact Amp Media Productions at 866-224-5422.
Attention Florida residents. Is constant water damage from the elements putting holes in your pipes and your wallet? We cut the cost when disaster strikes. You deserve to have your house be a home again. At Triumph, we get you paid the most for your insurance claims. Broken pipes, water damage, and mold? Triumph Consulting covers it all. Call our offices now to qualify for a free house inspection at 954-669-4935 or visit www.wegetYouPaid.com.
Watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
And welcome.
Welcome back.
You know what we got to do, right?
Ah, yes, Mario Lanza. So Neil was here. He says, do you have a Twitter? And I hesitated to give him yours because you know who follows you on these things.
Mario Lanza.
Yeah, no. I sound like the kids. No, yeah, no.
Mario Lanza. What are you talking about?
It's like, you know who follows Freddie.
You want to talk about Mario Lanza?
Mario Lanza, yes. Mario Lanza Show, the musical, coming to London, March 24th of 2022, which is right around the corner. If you are over in Europe, you want to see it live.
March 24th.
However,
pay-per-view is
April 9th.
April 9th. We are going to be singing the opera, and it's going to be available at Movies of, why did I talk like that? Movies of Del Rey.
Lord Freddie.
And some other places. They're going to be putting the screen up with entertainment, perhaps booze, food, or everything else. More details are being worked out.
Which is going to be great. So we are able to distribute this show once it is recorded March 24th in London. If you're in England and you want to go, we will get you all of that information. They are small venues, 300, 400 people. Incredible tribute to the life and the music of Mario Lanza.
And Dawn is going to be using her private jet to fly you over.
We have an interview that we pre-recorded yesterday that will be airing tomorrow with the soprano, and her voice is really that of an angel.
Pretty good stuff.
And our producer was totally enamored with her resume.
And Freddie does it right again. Instead of us doing the interview, I said, Alana, go do it. I didn't tell her what she was doing.
Which was perfect for the arts piece of what it is. So we'll be able to stream this on a pay-per-view platform. You'll be able to purchase tickets so you can access the show, the performance, or go to Movies of Del Rey and watch it in a huge theater setting. That will be on April 9th. More information to come. It will be on Eventbrite. If you're interested, let us know. Always at 866-224-5422, and we will get all of that information out to you.
Yes. So that's the one.
You've got a lot going on in the music industry. You had a meeting this morning with Jeffrey, and I understand the piano player will be here again on Friday.
On Friday. We are going to have 5 companies, not 4, 5 companies are sending us their singers because they want to participate in the... I tell you, that Jingle Jam is getting thicker. And they want to participate. There's a meeting going on right now. Is it called the Tower?
The Tower Club down in Fort Lauderdale.
Guess what? We just joined.
Did we?
Yeah.
Awesome.
They have 2 rooms in the back. They hold 80 and 125 people. So we want to do seminars with bigger numbers. We have the Tower Club, who apparently have over 600 other clubs that pertain to the Tower Club.
Interesting.
Did you know that?
I did not know that.
I don't even know what a Tower Club is. But you know what? You send a Rican wherever you got to send them, and we're going to go, baby.
Speaking of Rican, I think these ladies just got back from your neck of the woods, as they say.
Yes, they were in Puerto Rico. In Puerto Rico, there's everything there is fried. The food is fried.
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah. They're big on frying. Mofongo, the national dish of Puerto Rico.
That's your
is,
favorite.
I thought mofongo was Dominican.
They
No.
do a pretty good job of it
Do they?
in Puerto Rico. Yes, absolutely.
What beaches did you go to?
We went to the Borinquin Beach, and we've actually joined an organization there that is helping to restore the beach and keep it clean. You know, they've had big storms there, and it's you see the devastation that, you know, can be caused. But we went to several beaches. Oh, the big beach near us is Crash Boat Beach in
Are you
Aguadilla.
Puerto Rican?
I am now a Puerto Rican resident.
Okay. What made you decide to become a Puerto Rican resident?
That is a long story, short story, but as an owner of a medical supply company, you can really work from anywhere because we direct ship all of our supplies. So Puerto Rico is a great place. It does have
And
some
I-
tax advantages too. So
It does, and you get to get your material into the island. That's what the question. My uncles, my whole side of the family on my father's side are all doctors, except for me. But they all are. They're all
okay.
in the medical profession.
Well, are they in Puerto Rico?
Yes, in Humacao, Puerto Rico, all the way to Ponce, San Juan, Arecibo, Santurce. We're all
Well,
over the island.
Certainly happy to make acquaintance with them. If there's a way we can network with them and get them products that they can't get, love to do that.
Yeah, we need to talk to a couple of hospitals that they run as well.
I was going to say diabetes in Puerto Rico, if everything is fried, is probably on the high side.
I can guarantee you that it is a generally unhealthy population. You know, there's a whole range of metabolic indicators, and if you just look at the beach, for instance, you know, there's a lot of people that are overweight. There's a lot of people that most likely have some, if not current health problems developing in the future. So, yep.
Education.
Education.
My
Education is
mother-
starting from young.
My mother always served rice and beans with bananas.
Did she have diabetes, your mom too?
Absolutely. And there's no Rican I know.
Your
that-
dad too?
No. My father was built Italian style, I guess. He did not have diabetes. That was, you know, I just realized that. But everybody else that I know, you know, they say Latinas, they you know, they strut their stuff, and it's just the food that we eat ain't clear, and the body digests it.
I think there's a lot of genetic component to it as well.
No, Ricans love to eat. We have a merengue going on with the food. We love to eat. We love to drink. We love to eat. We love to party. That's just our DNA. So calling me diabetic, what can I tell you?
I know. You drinking water and being on a health kick. I'm really proud of you for doing this again. And I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, I got it.
And
I got to
will-
change my ways. I'm done
we
with
will
it.
support you in all of
Stephen
that.
Gov, our sponsor he's a liquor sponsor, had open heart surgery and they put him on metformin. And he walks 2 miles a day. And he told me, Freddie, get off of carbs. And this is the conversation we had as I was eating bread on Saturday night. And he kicks it off the table. That's it. You don't got to do nothing more. I says, I got to go clean that. And he says, that, you know, just kick it. So all week I've been doing it. I'm going to tell you, I feel a whole lot better. When I was doing plant-based, that's the best. I'm going to tell you, all kidding aside, man, if you can do plant-based, do it. And I know it's expensive. I know it don't taste great. I know. But my goodness, my sugar went down. My weight, I was 192 at the time.
But not all plant-based has to be expensive. But then you have to be careful.
The
because,
good one does.
But then you got rice, plant-based. So really not such a good idea for you, and carbs.
I stay away from the rice.
So-
But I stay away from the rice no matter what.
A lot of different things to look at.
Yeah, but the plant-based still has its advantages. You know that Impossible Burger that has 2,000 Weight Watcher points? It doesn't do anything to the sugar, but it does something to the midsection.
What's it do? Does it make
Sugar. It has volume to it. A diabetic has to look at carbs and he has to look at calories. It's really weird. I can't do
Yes,
this.
the Impossible Burger is like 10 points on Weight Watchers.
It is ridiculous.
It's so not worth it.
It is, yes, very worth it. Once a month.
You could have a chicken burger and at least have ground chicken and no points.
A chicken burger. We're back to that again, yes. Everything goes to the chicken.
No, but I can see definitely going to plant-based.
Well, I'm going to keep these ladies in business and all of my followers, everyone, I'm going to keep them in business forever because, you know, things begin to hurt. Your inflammation of the knees and elbows and everything hurts.
Yep.
And you need to put on bandages. I could never do your Zumba class until I warm up for about 3 days.
Well, that was her story. That was Angel's story. She couldn't do her Zumba class either when she first started. And you said, here, go
I
again.
left the first class after 10 minutes, and I
saw
said,
your
you're
tape.
crazy.
My earlobes hurt. I saw your tape.
But you know, that was the thing that I needed because it gave me happiness. The music made me happy. And even though I couldn't move, eventually in 6 months I lost 36 pounds. It made me happy. It was like going to a party. So people think, oh, Zumba, I can't do it. I jump, I twist and whatever. We're going to do a show, Ugo and I, and we're going to do an example because our Zumba is for seniors. We teach seniors.
I think it's fantastic. And once you get motivated, once you get in that mindset, at least we were talking about different modalities, and we've got Dr. Hillary coming in tomorrow, Dr. Taylor, and she is, they call her Dr. THC for Dr. Taylor's Holistic Community, which would be a nice segue for you also. She works with crystals and meditation and tapping and all of that.
Frequencies, yeah.
Frequencies, but then with frequencies come other physical ailments, right? But how do we not let that physical ailment overtake our life?
That's right. Well, I was talking to Lisa, and fear is the worst enemy. I don't care what age you are. You could be 12 to 103, and fear will play havoc on your body.
Yeah.
And we use the example, you're healthy, you see the doctor, he says you got cancer, all of a sudden you ain't feeling too good because he told you that. And 6 days later, they tell you, oh, I made a mistake. And you feel like taking your shoe and beating him to death. But it's the whole physicality of what you bring. And you got to stay positive and you got to keep fighting. You know, I've seen a lot of people who died that says, I'm going to fight this thing, I'm going to beat it. And they're just saying that because they want to do that for somebody else, but they ain't believing it. We know somebody who had a brain, cancer of the brain. And that gentleman, they gave him 6 days or 6 months or 4 months to live. And his wife says, we're changing everything. And she put him on plant-based. And he's been alive 19, 20 years now.
Yep.
Wow.
And the
It's
doctors
amazing.
still can't figure it out.
It's what you eat. And so much of what you eat is, we know what is based in hormones and all of this other stuff. It's changing your mindset, be willing to do it. And start with 10 minutes of Zumba. Start with eliminating carbs, whatever works for your body.
Yeah, even though you don't like it, do it because it's good for you.
Listen, I left early last night so I could go home and work out because I could have sat in the radio station
I'm
till
not
7:30.
having that conversation.
Why?
Because I have
Why?
my
Because
own
you know what?
feelings about
It gets a whole lot easier to sit and do nothing unless you actually motivate yourself
Yes,
and
yes.
say, I got to get up and go. So Dana, when you said to me, I was really glad you said, I have a workout today at between 8 and 9, I'll come later. I thought, you know what, good for you for making time for yourself.
Yes.
But that's where things have changed in our society
Does
because
she have a shoulder? Do you have shoulder braces?
Yes, we do.
Okay, you should invest in one. You know,
It's not about me.
the funny thing is that when you injure yourself, you create inflammation in that area, like a bad knee, a bad this, a bad that, and you move it. So that's why doctors immobilize broken limbs, you know, broken arm. So you have this shoulder. I've known you 7 years now. You still got it.
Yeah.
You need to immobilize.
I remember when I did it too, and that 3 months, it's been 6 years.
You need to immobilize the areas that have inflammation so that the body has a chance to heal. So you get on this treadmill, you're lifting weights, so it ain't going to heal.
But I want to ask you guys a question. Yes, we digress away
Yes,
from
we
me.
digress.
Are you
It's
going to
okay.
be putting together some wellness seminars within the space of what you do?
Yes.
Some educational seminars might be kind
No,
of
yes,
interesting.
for sure, definitely. We'll be doing that. We have a couple of senior expos coming up too, where we're going to incorporate products and education for seniors, not only seniors, but for the community.
Now that and educating, I think different. I want to say aides, but healthcare providers for seniors that aren't necessarily the spouse, to different things that you have that people don't realize. And I think that blood flow machine is fantastic.
Right. Not a lot of people know
your
about
training
that
in
at this point.
mastectomies,
Yeah.
tremendous.
Yeah.
The blood flow machine is available now?
Yes, the blood flow machine, the plasma flow, is available now.
So you have it in shop. So if people want to buy it, they can come by and get it?
Well, right now I have one in stock for demo, but we can get it as fast as maybe 2-3 days. We can have it in the office.
And what is the website, or how do they order it?
They can call in at our office at 561-332-3898, or they can also reach us on Facebook at Sunshine Senior Solutions, and they can place an order there as well.
That's the name of the game right there.
And will you deliver to different facilities?
Yes, we can also deliver to different facilities.
Do they have to get a doctor referral to get it?
So for the plasma flow, yes, you would need to get a prescription, or it can also be something that the patient thinks they need, and we can also do it that way as well. Only if the patient is going through their insurance, they would need to have a written prescription from the doctor.
So if you bought it yourself, you wouldn't need a prescription?
Correct.
Let me tell you. And what about the other thing, the diabetes monitor?
Same thing. If your doctor wants you to have it, he will prescribe it for you. But if you're just an individual out there and you think you can benefit from it, either you can have that conversation with your physician, or we have, customer service people that will reach out to your doctor, and we do a lot of education for physicians who may not be familiar with this kind of technology. So one-on-ones. You were asking about doing more patient education. Yes, we'd like to create some videos with your help, we hope. But we don't really have a massive audience, and everything's kind of been locked down about doing in-person types of training that we might have gone to in the past. So we're going to get creative about ways to reach doctors and ways to reach home health care agencies and hospitals.
That's true.
It hasn't been as easy to gain access to those.
Well, we've got
groups.
a home health agency that you work with. We've got
Okay,
another one
tomorrow.
coming in next week that I
Yeah.
spoke to yesterday, and they're
yeah.
in Broward, Dade. So you can send products anywhere, right? But don't have to necessarily
Absolutely.
be in Broward.
Our Maryland company can ship, I believe, to 40 or 42 states, and the Florida, the Delray office, similar number?
Yes, similar number as well. About 40 states.
It's really great to know. Oh, I have to show them these ice packs that we have that they can.
You have them around somewhere.
It's actually on my table in the theater. We're working with a new company. They make these incredible ice packs called the Ice Pack Sack, and they will brand them specifically for you, which is a
wow.
fantastic product to give away.
To give away
But
at
they're
our-
hot. They can be hot and cold.
Okay.
And they will brand the cover for you. They've got 4 different sizes: medium, large, extra large, and then a neck one that goes all the way around the neck. And you'll see the quality. It's in Studio A. Spectacular. I think we're going to try and go meet her tomorrow.
Okay, interesting.
And it's made right here in
Wow.
Delray Beach, which is amazing. It's a
Yes.
gel pack, really, really nice quality, so it lasts.
And things are changing. You look at the NFL football games, and it's 5 degrees in Kansas City, and it's over 70,000 people in the stands. So things are changing where people actually want to get out. They've come up with this solution that COVID ain't going to go away. Just got to learn to live with it. Wash your hands. It's funny, when we first started, wash your hands. Wash your hands, wear a mask. If not wear a mask, but at least wash your hands. Keep yourself a little bit cleaner.
It's funny, and I'm aware of washing my hands. I'll just go to the back. Things you never thought of before.
I just bought from Costco soap in the 3-pack. I have enough soap for the next 3 years. And then when I'm using it, I'm going through it like Grant took Richmond. Because of you, I'm like washing my hands every 15 minutes.
Gotta wash your hands. Because look at the amount of things that we touch in the
Yes.
studio, and the amount of things that other people touch wherever they are. You don't think about it, and then you go to eat, and you should wash your hands. And you wipe your face, you can wash your hands. Constantly should be washing your hands. Just cleanliness. Doorknobs, things we never thought about before, right? Only's the bathroom doorknob, but never front doorknobs. But you become aware of
Do you
different
still
ideas.
wear your mask when you get gas? You ever seen that? I wear my mask to get gas because everybody else did that. And then I had the blue gloves on. I had the mask on. And they took pictures of me with my hat.
Oh my gosh, I remember it
In the
spraying
gas
on
station.
groceries, but
You don't do that? You don't wear a mask in the gas station?
no,
No? You wear gloves?
no.
I got gloves from that gas station we went to. What was it called?
I should wear gloves
Wawa?
only because I don't like touching things, but that's the reason I don't even like buffets. I just don't like touching things that other people touch.
So you walk around with a little spritzer,
No, I
right?
don't go to buffets.
You go, no, you don't go to buffet, but every time I see you, you're,
Yes. Always.
That is
Or
one
the-
thing that we do carry. We
Sanitizer.
carry sanitizer. We carry gloves.
Yes.
You know,
All-
regular latex
Yes,
gloves.
all your PPE products, masks.
Oh, you got PPE? Okay, listen, Lisa, I got this idea
Yes.
3 years ago, and they laughed. You come into the studio, and there are curtains, like a shower curtain, like when you go to the airport,
Yes.
and these sprays come out, shh, like sanitizer sprays.
Do you know they
And-
have that at hotels now?
And now they got it in hotels. And you know what? I came up with it the day of the lockdown on the
When you walk
18th
through the
of
double
March.
doors of the hotels, you get sprayed and sanitized.
I am very upset.
You should have patent pending it.
Very patent pending. And people laughed at me. And look at that. Now
There's a lot of products. I went to a huge trade show this year in Atlanta, and they also have UV machines for your feet. I mean, it's incredible the amount of things you can bring in from the outside that are on the bottom of your shoes. So in certain sanitary spaces, this happened to be in a farming kind of situation. People are walking from the
Walking around,
fields,
yep.
and there can be a lot of toxic soils. Anyway, so it's a machine that will clean the bottom of your feet and I guess the rest of your body with UV.
While you're talking about that, let me ask you, diabetic foot care, are there different products that people can have at home to help take care of their feet?
Absolutely. There is a diabetic bath because once you get an open wound through diabetes, your capillaries, the very small blood vessels, become damaged. And once the blood flow stops going to all your extremities, then your feet start having problems, and wound healing is one of the major problems that diabetics have. So to keep your feet, clean and, your toenails clipped, but there are baths that have a mix of, I believe it's 3 different products that help with the fungus, the antibacterial, antimicrobial, and yes, it can really reduce and the chance of amputation. So
Yes.
that's the biggest thing.
That's a big one.
Preventive.
Preventive.
If you can prevent disease, it's a whole lot, we say it all the time, a whole lot
Yes,
easier
right.
to deal with it in front before you get it than trying to clean up the mess afterwards.
Exactly.
Prevent the wounds, so you don't have to worry about the wound care
Right.
afterwards. Try to
And
prevent it.
even
instead.
prior than that, get an
Yep.
awareness of what your
There you go.
normal blood sugar is every day, not just once or twice a year when you go into your doctor, but to track that and know what things are going to spike your blood sugar and, create a healthier lifestyle overall.
And you have the meters on hand?
We can ship them. We do keep some in the office, but we mostly do direct shipping. And
you
we
have
will
to
do
do it?
patient education over the phone because the patients do have to apply the sensor themselves. So we have people that can walk you through that. But we'd love to have a video also.
Yes.
That's one thing that we can
I
do.
think it's vital.
My
I think it's
question-
important.
A question I have about the monitor.
Yes.
Diabetes, you worry so much about diabetics and wound care.
Yes.
Here we are now introducing a needle and another apparatus that could potentially cause a wound. What's the theory, the education behind that?
So when I say it's a needle, it is the size of a human hair.
It's a hair.
It is such
Very
a
tiny.
tiny little thing. Plus, in the kit that they will be given in part of the education we provide there's alcohol wipes. So you do want to keep that area clean. You can shower with it once it's once it's applied, and it stays there for about 2 weeks.
How does it stay on? It has a suction cup or something?
There's an
Adhesive. Okay.
sensor around the outer part
Uh-huh.
that helps, stick to the skin. There's an adhesive around it, so it helps it stay in place. That's why it's like Miss Lisa said, you can shower, you can also go swimming, so you're not putting an end to your activities that you like to do.
Do you need a doctor to put it into the skin?
No,
You do it yourself.
It's done at home.
Yes, you can do it yourself, or if you have a caregiver, you can.
Right.
That can,
And I would like to say this also because I think a lot of people are embarrassed, they're afraid, they do not even know what they need. And you may be fearful thinking, oh, I feel this, but maybe, you talk yourself out of it. So I just want to let you know that whatever you feel, please talk to somebody
Yes.
about it. You have to be your own advocate. Talk to a friend, talk to a relative, talk to the pharmacist. If you're afraid to call your doctor, you know, my aunt was afraid to call her doctor. She didn't want to bother him. So just call even the pharmacy and tell them you're having an issue. You want to know more about it, like Lisa and Dana said. They will even call your doctor to say, you know, so-and-so called me and maybe you need to, you know, check and see. Because I know that they're advocates for you in the insurance company,
Yes.
whoever. Make a contact with that person. Get the ball rolling, because you may not need anything. You may be okay. But if you feel something, say something.
Correct.
My lady from the last show, when we were talking about anxiety, she called me and she said, Angel, thank you so much for the information, because I've been feeling sick and not knowing what it is and just being a nervous wreck. And just listening to the show helped me to realize that I have anxiety. And now I know what I need to do. So that's the first step, is acknowledging and
Yes.
realizing, you know what, I'm not feeling right. Something's not right. Go check it out, please.
What's the best way for people to find you?
They can go ahead and give us a call. They can also, we're on Facebook and Instagram at Sunshine Senior Solutions, where they can find us there as well. And we're in Lake, off the corner of Lake Ida and Congress, Building 4, Suite 435B.
Fantastic. All right, we're going to take a commercial break. Contact the ladies, and the education part is so imperative. So I'm so happy that you do that as well. Look who's in the house. Stay tuned. We're going to take a commercial break, and we'll come back, and we're going to wrap up this Talk to Me Tuesday. We'll be right back.
Attention Florida residents. Is constant water damage from the elements putting holes in your pipes and your wallet? We cut the cost when disaster strikes. You deserve to have your house be a home again. At Triumph, we get you paid the most for your insurance claims. Broken pipes, water damage, and mold? Triumph Consulting covers it all. Call our offices now to qualify for a free house inspection at 954-669-4935 or visit www.
Justin Mooney is special counsel of the Florida office of Hinman, Howard, and Cattell attorneys. Justin's practice focuses on tax, estate planning, guardianship, probate, and trust administration. His passion is to provide clients with sophisticated estate plans which carry out their wishes, reduce any potential taxes, and preserve wealth for future generations. The attorneys of Hinman, Howard, and Cattell provide first-class legal services and have achieved a reputation for excellence for over a century, staying on the leading edge of the law. When you need representation or legal counsel, contact Justin Mooney at 561-276-1008 or jmooney@hhk.com.
Being a successful woman in business means having the courage to own who you are. We understand the challenges faced by women, and we are here to help. Our team is here to develop the best strategy designed just for you. Your path is unique, and with the right tools, you can accomplish your dream. From radio to TV, from podcasting to magazines, we create the visibility to amplify your impact in business. At New Dawn Media, we are here to help bring your message forward and help your business flourish. It is time for your message to be seen and your voice to be heard. Contact us at 866-224-5422 or brooklyncafe.tv. Your voice can make a difference.
Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
That was good.
Boom.
That was nice.
Wow.
That was the cartoon strip,
That's
Adventures of the
incredible.
Brooklyn Cafe, and Bailey put it together. And put that up against it.
Okay.
And this is creativity at its highest.
Bailey Altabep, one of our new interns at the Brooklyn Cafe Show, created this through the eyes of Bailey. I love it. That is unbelievable.
And she's doing the next piece.
Look, your bell is on the floor and the duck. Did you see all that?
Look at that, the duck on my side and the bell on yours.
That is hilarious. And the wand, your hat, awesome.
She does a nice job. We're going to be adding
Look,
to
and
it.
as we're sitting here, it is so us. Right?
It's cute.
Oh my gosh.
It's cute.
Bailey, that's fantastic. So we got her to sign it. We got a whole comic strip out. Is our executive producer coming in soon?
Next week, he's coming for the Super Bowl party, which I'm not having, but I guess I'm going to make
more
one.
than Sunday?
I asked him to come Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Oh, nice.
So we'll see. I don't see. He says that, but I don't know if he
You
shows
gotta
up.
bring the little one?
Yes, Joey's coming.
Ah, fantastic.
I'm going to give him his Christmas present, which I couldn't mail because they wanted $500 to mail this
You're gonna give it to him in
monstrosity.
person?
Yes.
Oh, that'll be so great. What?
My wheels. Yeah.
Bailey's going to love hanging out with Joey on Friday.
Yes.
That'll be fun.
We are, yes.
Whole lot of
A lot of
fun.
Tylenol.
So we'll see what's going on with that. Great job, everyone. Great show. For more information on Bitcoin, you can always contact us. We'll get you in touch with our Bitcoin master, Michael Macchia, and his guest today, Neil Jacobs. You can follow his podcast at Neil Jacobs all over social media. Must make sure it is the right one. And of course, Macchia always has great information. And our ladies who talked about DME and Touched by an Angel with Angel Kinsey, that'll air on Monday night at 7:30 live on WWNN. And we've got a lot of stuff. Tonight you and I are interviewing Reba from Boca Magazine, Reba Learning, talking about putting advertising in our local community newspaper magazines,
In
Boca
magazines.
and Del Rey.
Yes, Reba's coming out, and I think I gave somebody else.
You probably did.
So it might be 2 or 3 people.
All right, and then we've got Jordana Foster, Reddy's at Go Beyond. So a lot of great things still coming out of the cafe and our production house for today.
And don't forget, Friday, 6 o'clock, we have the cafe after hours. I think we should interview Slick. Because I heard him giving the business in the other room about how his name is Gene. They go, why did they call you Slick? And I don't know, he had this whole meeting going on in there. So maybe we should find out more.
All right, we can absolutely do that. Ready to wrap it up?
Ready to go.
Have a great afternoon, everyone. Stay safe, be kind to each other, and we'll see you tomorrow, 11 a.m. brunch time on WNN.
And
Well, that's about it for today. Even though the show's over, the Brooklyn Cafe is always open for business. You're invited to join the fun every day from 12 to 2. If you missed some of the laughs from today, Dawn and Freddie S. will bring you more good cheer next time. You can follow the Brooklyn Cafe on Facebook at the Brooklyn Cafe TV to rewatch every minute of the show. We'll see you next time.
In the cold and sleepless nights, I wait for you to bring me back to life. In my electric eyes, it doesn't mean that time can pick in every single breath. I want to unfreeze my heart and fly away. That's why I wanna save it. Your moons and craters. Open up my eyes, waterfalls of ice, sweeping me away like an sound, waiting deep inside my maze of sweeping thrills and colors. Just a ray of light, bathing me in drops of ink that glaze across my body. Wish you could unfreeze my heart and we could fly.